Welcome to the class of drug discovery. Dear student, today we are going to study protein modeling methods, which are computational methods. So, computational methods of protein modelings are used to process the data that is obtained from X-ray crystallography and NMR spectrometry. So, these are protein structure determination methods that are used to determine the structure of protein in wet lab. So, data is obtained from the X-ray and NMR spectrometry. So, these data, the data that is obtained from these two methods are processed using computational modeling methods. So, these methods we are going to discuss about these methods today. Okay, so X-ray crystallography is used to determine the structure of the proteins that can be crystallized easily. So X-ray radiation is used, and in this method electron density map is produced. Then this electron density map is analyzed. So it is very unreadable map. Anyone cannot analyze that electron density map easily. So the data has to be transformed. Electron density map has to be transformed using the method that is. So electron density map is analyzed, and NMR spectra also. These maps are analyzed using the Fourier transform method. So data is transformed. So before any analysis, before anything, data has to be transformed. That map has to be transformed into the readable form, because electron density map and NMR spectra, for anybody it is unreadable. So it has to be transformed. Okay, so that we call Fourier transform method. Fourier transform method is a mathematical method that is used to transform the data, that signals, NMR signals and X-ray crystallography signals. Okay, so this is the source. In the PDB database, the structure file is submitted, that is obtained from the X-ray data and NMR. Okay, so structure file is made using the X-ray data and NMR data. So the data is saved in the structure file. We call that structure file. Okay, then data is processed. So after the processing of that data, that is submitted to the PDB, then we call that PDB structure. So in the PDB database, protein data bank, we have 80% data that is obtained from the X-ray crystallography and 16% data that is obtained from NMR spectroscopy. So these are the source of data. These are the two important methods. X-ray we use in the case of protein that can be crystallized, and there are some proteins that cannot be crystallized, like the membrane protein. The membrane protein contains the more hydrophobic amino acid, and that protein cannot be crystallized. The membrane protein cannot be crystallized.
मैम कुछ बच्चे वेट कर रहे हैं, ज्वाइन कर लीजिए.
ओके, okay, so membrane protein cannot be crystallized. So in that case, NMR spectrometry method is used because it is carried out in the solution. Some of the proteins, membrane proteins, cannot be crystallized because as we take them out from the membrane protein change their structure. So how we can determine those structure using the X-ray? it is taking like a photo or a snap in the static mode. So we cannot analyze those proteins using the X-ray crystallography method. So in case of membrane protein, NMR spectroscopy method is very useful because it is carried out in the solution. Okay. And for the drug metabolism also, to study the drug metabolism, this NMR spectroscopic method is very useful, because using this method we can analyze the various state of the drug metabolism, like absorption, distribution, metabolism, because it can give us provide us the data from at the various stages. So drug metabolism, drug kinetics can be analyzed using the NMR data. This is very important method for the drug metabolism also. It is important for you to study. So NMR is useful in the dynamic process. So you can analyze the dynamic protein dynamics or drug dynamics. So using the X-ray crystallography we cannot do that. That is the limitation of that method. But yet this is the useful method. X-ray crystallography is useful method for all other proteins, because 80% data that we obtain from the X-ray crystallography. Now is it clear to you? So computational method is used whenever there is a missing data, because structure file is made using X-ray or NMR data. Now there is a 2% structure that is left. There is a missing part. So for that we use the theoretical method or computational method to make the complete structure of the protein. What do you see in the protein data bank, PDB database? That is a complete structure. So how it is made up? So that is the combined effort of the combined data, like X-ray, NMR. After that we use the computational structure prediction method. Okay, to complete that structure. So computational methods are useful in that case. So today we are also going to study about the different methods of the modeling, because in the computer we call this prediction and modeling. So these are the three methods. Okay, ab initio, homology, threading. So these are the three methods that are used to model the protein structure. Okay, so it is not I think for the 2% data we use the computational modeling, and we also use this method in case suppose if we do not find any structure for any protein in the protein data bank, then also we apply these methods. These methods are important. Actually these are important in that case, because if we do not have any structure in the protein data bank, so for the sequence, so we can use these methods for modeling of the proteins. That is the use of computational modeling. Okay, so we also use the computational modeling method to complete the structure that is obtained from the X-ray and NMR also. But these methods are nowadays we are using for unknown protein, unknown structure, for the characterization of unknown protein, hypothetical proteins. Okay, suppose we do not have X-ray structure, we do not have NMR spectra, what we do then? So we take the sequence of the protein. So these are the methods that are applied on the sequence. So sequence is the input here. So we should have the sequence. If we have protein sequence, we can apply these methods. Okay, so these are sequence based methods. We should have the sequence that we can obtain from NCBI also. So sometimes there is no structure in the PDB data bank. In the PDB database, suppose we do not find any structure. Suppose you search for the corona target and you do not find the, okay, then you can use these methods to model the unknown proteins, to characterize the proteins. Okay, suppose we find that this protein is responsible for the corona, then you can model that protein. You can model the structure of the protein using sequence. The only thing you should have, that is the sequence. So these are the sequence based methods. Understood? So these all are computational methods. Ab initio, which use just first principle, energy, geometry, kinematics. Actually this is the method which is used in case of low sequence similarity, because sequence is used to model the protein. Now how it is going to happen, how it is carried out, how it is takes place. Sequence is compared, the protein sequence is compared to the protein sequence that is already stored in the database. Okay, and whatever data is available for the already existing protein, that is used to model the new sequence. On the basis of that, suppose in the ab initio method, what is this? If there is a low sequence similarity, first of all sequence alignment is performed. If there is a very low sequence similarity, suppose less than 15% similarity, protein is showing less than 15% similarity or 10% similarity, then we can use this method, ab initio method. Okay, so which combine the data from the different sources and combine it produces a combined model. The next method is the homology modeling. It is based on the homology, means if sequence share more than 30% or 25% similarity, sequence identity, sorry I should say the sequence identity. If the sequence identity is more than 25% or 35%, then this method is suitable. You should not use this homology modeling method. You cannot use the homology modeling method below 25%. Okay, so because this method is based on the homology, means if sequence shows more than 30% similarity, these are thought to have common ancestors, means these are thought to be produced from the common ancestor protein, means ancestors are common for the protein, for the sequence. Okay, on the basis of that analogy we use the homology. So for the sequence that is similar to the sequences that are already stored in the databases, if there is a sequence identity, then the structure of the already existing protein is used to model the new sequence. If the sequence is same, if the part of sequence is same, then structure is copied from database. Okay, then we used to produce a model. So that is the homology modeling method. Means we the structure is copied on the basis of sequence identity. If the sequence identity is similar, the same, then the part of the structure is copied from the database sequences. So it is carried out, means first we have to identify the template. If we find the suitable template, then we can use the template structure of the from the database, and when we can model the new protein. So we will discuss it in the detail also. Another method is the threading method. That is very important also. If there is a sequence alignment, sequence identity is below the 25% or more than the 15%, then this method is suitable, means threading method, means fold can be similar, the structure can be similar also. So in that case the threading method is suitable, because what we think, protein can show the different sequence, but they can adapt to the same structure also. It has been observed. So even the two sequences have the different sequence, but they can adapt, they can show the similar structure also. So that similarity is known as fold level similarity. Protein domain can be similar. If the domain structure is same, even the sequence are different, but they adapt to the same fold structure, the function will be same. So this is based on that analogy. So these are the all methods that can be used. Meta servers and other methods can also be used, means that can use the combination of the different methods. misusing the combined methods or combined method. Now this lecture is over. The introduction is over.